G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. Yes, we're late, but lateness is greatness, as they say. And you know what? I am so happy with the result. It's all smiles on the Aussie Gooner channel now. Everyone was confident going into this game. And you know what? The boys came to deliver, did the job, got it done. See you later. Vieira's men fall on the sword. But first of all, I have to introduce my panel. If you don't know, now you know. I've got Fran in the building, making her second appearance on my channel. Fran, how you feeling? How you going? How you doing? How you been?
Yeah, I've been having a very self-reflective last 24 hours on my lack of faith in this Arsenal team to get the job done, and I've come to some, deep emotional conclusions, which I'm sure I'll get into. But apart from that, all good. Very happy to be here. Glad to be with you,
Smiles.
Kyle and Steve. Yeah, it's all smiles.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. 8 points clear. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Kyle Walsh Gunner, the man who's been, people say he's sad. I say, no, he's a sweetheart. Kyle, how you going, mate? You got this smile on your face. You look like rejuvenated. Have you been to a spa or something? What have you been doing, mate? What's the secret?
The secret, my friend, is getting 3 points. And doing the winning mentality that I'm always talking about. So big up to you, Steve, for having me on the show. Looking forward to it, man. And great to share the same screen as the legend herself, Fran.
Big up yourself.
This is going to be a good one. Let's go.
Oh, man, I can't wait. Honestly, this game was, I was confident going into this game. No Patrick Vieira. A team that's trying to bounce back, of course, trying to score some goals, maybe trying to ruffle some feathers, and all sort of, all social media saying, have Arsenal slipped? Is this their undoing? Yada, yada, yada. I was quietly confident. Not really. I was actually very confident. And you know what? The boys fucking delivered. They delivered in every single aspect of the game. Now, I know you guys saw the same game I was looking at. In the first 20 minutes, we can all agree we're a little bit, wait a minute, we're getting hit on the counter. Now, Fran, I know you were a little bit like, this is looking a bit shady. 20 minutes of a bit, Zaha, what are you thinking? What were you thinking? What were you feeling?
Oh, I was just getting flashbacks of all the times last season, especially last season, like when we had, about this many games to go, and it was Newcastle, and we just kept, we would concede first, and then suddenly the media narrative was like, it's bottling. You guys know Akpos! Congratulations!
Big up, Kyle. Big up, Aussie.
Akpos! I have a daughter who turned 13 yesterday. You have it all ahead of you, my friend, but big congratulations.
Happy birthday to her, Kyle. Happy birthday to her.
Big time.
I'm gonna be in your inbox for some tips and things to look forward to.
Absolutely. Anytime, my friend. Anytime.
You need to send me that manual.
I surely will.
Big up, Akpos. Sorry, Fran, for interrupting.
Apologies for coming in.
No, do not apologize. We're happy to have you. And guys, if you don't know, Akpos is a proud father. He has a brand spanking new daughter and a great win to start her life off. To be honest, mate, congratulations. I'm very happy for you.
Brother.
We don't know the name. I suggested Stevie, but I'm pretty sure you didn't go for it. The polls pretty much, it was like 0%. Is there a name? Do we have a name?
Yeah, there is a name, but I want to start first by saying thank you to everybody, to Fran, to Kyle, Ursi Guna, and everybody on the channel, everybody that was on the previous show. I did not get the opportunity to jump on the show, but I definitely watched the entire show, and I must say I'm overwhelmed with all the love, all the support, all the congratulations message I'm getting from you guys and everybody who's part of the our small Arsenal family, our small footballing community. I want to say a big shout out to all the guys also that reached out, Muncie, Nigeria Englishman, Kunle, everybody. I want to say thank you to everybody, and I really appreciate all of the love. And I hope this year is going to be a big one for not just me, for all of us, as in our individual lives also, and Arsenal fans, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate come the end of the season with the Premier League trophy, because I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. The last time we won the league, I was just about getting out from high school, and in our secondary school, which is the equivalent of high school, and now I'm a dad already, and so you could see how long it is taking. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, we can win the league this year. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for all of the messages. I'm really grateful.
Honestly, I think, to be perfectly honest, Akpos, I think everybody in the chat, and big up the chat, big up Craig AFC, big up KB
Big
Sports,
up everybody, big up, man.
big up BX Gunner, DWTT in the building, big up all you guys, and seriously, big up Akpos. You're a great guy, and I think the love from the community, it's not coming for nothing. It's because the kind of person you are, everybody's attracted to you because you're an honest person, you're straightforward. And mate, you know your football. So to be perfectly honest, I think the whole YouTube community is happy for you because you just, honestly, you're a wonderful presence. From the first time I met you on Munzie's channel, I remember when we jumped onto that stream, Deji was there, and that's where I fried him. And you were there, and I'm like, you know what, this guy knows his shit. This is going to be fucking fun. And I think that's where me and you started to see it very eye to eye. That was wonderful, man. I feel truly blessed to know a person like you and the panel that I've got around me. Honestly, this community that we've got, Fran, Kyle, Walsh, Gunner, I mean, Akpos, the guys at Football Capital, Niger, we've got a pretty big group, but it's a very tight knit group. So big up Akpos.
Sorry to cut you, Ossie. For the name, I'm going to be naming her after my mom, who passed on in 2016. So I'm going to be naming her after my mom, Regina. So that was my mom's name. So she'll be taken after my mom.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Thanks to everybody. I really appreciate you guys.
Legendary stuff.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks. Big up to everyone in the chat also. I really appreciate all of you.
Big up, my man. Big up. Big up. Fran, you had 20 minutes of shits and giggles. 20 minutes of shits and giggles with Zaha, the guy that me and Akpos wanted to come to Arsenal, scaring the living shit out of Ramsdale. What were your vibes in the first, say, 25? Serious.
I just couldn't watch. I was so afraid of us conceding first and then just like losing our heads and stuff. But obviously that didn't happen. And as I said, the last day I've just been thinking, like, why am I still putting us in that bracket of last season, the season before, when time and time again they keep like proving me wrong, and keep showing us that they can get through those moments where everyone's saying, oh, they're going to slip up. I can't tell you how many times this season I've gone like, this game's a banana skin, we need to watch out, and then we've won comfortably. So I think it's about time that I admit, like, okay, there may be scary moments, and we've seen us even like concede first. But the mentality this year has been to always come back and get that win. Apart from we've only lost 3 games, so I think even just by like probability, right, we're very, very likely to win each match. So that's the last time I watch a hairy moment and I have doubt that we're going to come through and win, basically, because I was worrying about it, and I'm fed up of just worrying about it and expecting the worst, and just completely catastrophizing every small mistake. No, I'm done. I've got complete faith in them, and that 20 minutes, what 20 minutes?
It was a warm-up. Carl, was it a warm-up? 20 minutes? Zaha tests Ramsdale?
Steve,
your vibes? Were you confident? Were you confident? Because I was like, you know what? You know what? I can still see us scoring, but tell me what you reckon, mate, please.
Yeah, I was very confident that we're going to win this game and get the 3 points. But then first 20, 25 minutes, we were nervy. But this is what I'm expecting, though, Steve. I'm expecting throughout the rest of the games, we can smell success. And because of the inexperience and because we haven't been here before with these players, they're only human beings. They have to be feeling the pressure. And I feel that this nervousness that we've seen in that Palace game, we're going to see more and more of that as each game comes. Because these games now, Steve, are cup finals now. Each game is a cup final. And in a cup final, you have nerves no matter what level of football you're playing at. So I wasn't surprised to see that. But the good thing is that we saw it through. And once we scored, Martinelli scored that goal, there was a stroll in the park after that. The only problem I have is I don't want this to be like that when we're against the big boys, because we're dealing with different opposition then. because Palace are lacking a lot of quality and they're suffering with a lot of confidence at the minute. Very good performance, as I say. Both this nervousness, lads, we're going to see more and more of it as each game goes by.
It's true. Akpos, what were you thinking? Were you when you saw? I mean, you saw the Zaha move. You saw our first 20. They were looking like they were countering us well.
Well, I think I missed a little bit of some of the action in the first 20 minutes, but I saw what that chance for Wilfred Zaha, and I was like, yes, this is the main reason I wanted us to get a player like Zaha. But I was hoping that we will keep him quiet for most part of the game, and afterwards, I want to give kudos also to Rob Holding, because when I saw that team list, I was a little bit nervous with Rob Holding, but I also had this feeling that it was going to be an easy win for us also, because I was expecting an easy win on the game against Sporting in the Europa Cup League game. But one thing I want to big this set of players for the team and the manager, for the coaching crew, is their mindset. Every time we are expecting this team to turn up, to have a reaction for a game, a result that had not gone well for the team in the previous game, these guys are stepping up to the plate. They are able to handle all of this pressure, because I think it's massive what these guys are trying to do. We should also not forget that besides Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, we don't have any player who has won the league before in that team. So these guys are becoming mentality monsters. And also, I want to big up what they are doing. Zinchenko, the more experienced guys in this team, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, Jorginho, who just joined the team recently, they are making sure that heads are not dropping. And I'm also not just excited about this season, but what's to come for in the future, what's to come ahead, because I'm looking at these guys. If we can keep this group together, we could potentially have another team that could be in the title race come every season with the way they are playing, and also with the right investment also into the team. So the first 20 minutes was scary, but after on, I think we controlled the game comfortably in the rest part of the game. And our attacking football right now, I think it's top there. A lot of people are saying, I'm talking about how good City are attackingly. I think we could also match them in terms of that a part of the game also, because the way we are scoring team goals that everybody in the team are contributing their quarter in. We're scoring beautiful goals. So this team is a team that's giving me so much hope, so much belief, because these guys, they are showing the fight. They are showing that yes, to win this game means a lot to them. To get that 3 point means a lot to them. I was just seeing the video of Zinchenko leaving the stadium after the game yesterday, and you could see how he was interacting with the fan. This looked like a player who has been playing for this football club, let's say 4 or 5 years, but this is just a guy that just joined in during the summer. So we have players that are sold on the Arsenal idea, that are sold on the project that we have going on for us now. So I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the rest 10 games we have left for this season, because like Martin Odegaard, also one of the players, said it's going to be 11 League Cup finals till the end of the season, and now we have one less, which is 10 League Cup finals. And I'm hoping that all of us will continue to be in this unified mood that we are right now as Arsenal fans. I know we all have our differences in areas where we tend to not to agree what we're expecting from the manager, what we're expecting from the owners, but I think now is the time for us to keep all of that on the side, support this team. At the end of the season, we can come back to the drawing board and let's say, okay, let's talk about the areas we want changes, because I think at the end of the day, we all want this football club to be successful, irrespective of whether we agree or not on some certain issues. So now's the time for us to support this team. These guys are looking like they are fighting for the badge. They feel it as much as we do when the team do not tend to win. So I think we should continue to support them and continue to believe that they can take this belief over the finish line, and we could potentially lift the trophy this season.
I don't see a reason why we couldn't do it. I agree with you. I'm sorry, guys, I dropped out. Internet issues here in Australia. It's wonderful. It's tired. I should be tired, but I don't see a reason why Arsenal can't go through and continue this run. We literally only have the Premier League to worry about at the moment. I mean, our let's say our direct competitors being Manchester City have Bayern Munich they have to face. They've got an FA Cup semi that they have to go into, and they got the Prem. And even if they win every game that they have in the Prem, they will still need us to slip up. So I mean, at the end of the day, it is in our hands to lose. I'm just going to get into the comments real quick, guys. I've got BX Gunner here. Congratulations, my man Akpos. So big up. I got
Big up.
DWTT in the building, my man from the States, saying big up. How you doing, boys? How you doing? Luke is here. Afternoon, evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Big up Steve, Akpos, Fran, and Kyle in the chat. Big up the chat. Big up the chat. The Mr. Arsenal podcast. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening if you're in Australia. Warren's team talk. Mr. Warren in the building. Hi, Kyle. I hope you're well, buddy. Kyle, he's checking up on you, mate. Look, Warren, I'm telling you now, Kyle's all happy and smiling, carrying on. You should have seen him backstage, mate. There was hugs, there was kisses, there was everything.
Warren is a legend, an absolute legend of a man.
Big up, Warren, big up. And guys, look, if you could, please check out the channels. As you can see, I have 3 people in here, and all 3 of them have channels. And to be perfectly honest, if you check out this little banner, it's subliminal messaging, but it's good subliminal messaging. I need you guys to jump on Kyle Walsh Gunner TV. I want you guys to subscribe. I want you guys to go onto Akpos's channel. It's right there. It's the football talk shop, please. And Golazzo, that's Fran. Please check her out. Won't hurt. Trust me. We're all in the mix here. It's all family. It's all love, love, love. I've got Warren saying hi, everyone else in the chat and the panel. Congratulations to the father. Big up, Warren. Warren, big up. Guys,
Big up, Warren.
Guys, we saw Bukayo Saka in this game. Now, Bukayo Saka in this game in the first 20 minutes looked like he was outplayed, but what I saw from Bukayo Saka in this game, it was mesmerizing, to say the least. For him to come into this game under pressure, 2 defenders on him, and to continue to push. That first goal that came out of pretty much nothing. Puts the ball in on his right foot for Martinelli to finish it on his left. So weakness to weakness.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Bukayo Saka and I'm thinking, in the Premier League right now, is there a better right winger?
For me, no. Firmino. Sorry.
Firmino? He didn't know. He isn't playing. He plays in the center of the park.
No, I mean, just every single game, like the amount of contribution. The amount he contributes, he's always like so pivotal in these moments and these goals, and can create something out of nothing. Just if he's on the pitch, like you can almost guarantee that he's going to be involved in a goal, as are quite a few of our players. But he just never fails to step up, and like, especially, we always talk about it in the big moments. He and a few others in our team, actually almost the whole team, are just mentality monsters. And that's why in these big nervous moments coming up, I think they're going to be okay. But anyway, someone else.
Akpos, I'm saying Bukayo Saka, Premier League, right wing, Starboy, goals coming out of his ass. We all know. Oh, look, you guys want to know? Do you want the stats? I can throw the stats. We don't need to get into that. I'm saying at the moment, is there a better right winger in the Premier League than Bukayo Saka? In your opinion?
For me, our Starboy is up there. It's up there, definitely. I've been in a lot of Bukayo Saka debates recently. There are a couple of football group WhatsApp chats where we talk about the Bukayo Saka team. And I've always said, right now, I can only put 2 players ahead of him. With the fact that both of these players have lifted, have had their hands on the Premier League titles, and for what they have done in the last couple of years, they've been very consistent. They've done it on the top level. But I don't know what's ahead of Bukayo Saka right now, and I still think like there's a lot more he could also achieve. But right now, the only 2 teams I think it would not work into in that position is for Liverpool, because they've got Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king. For me, I think Salah is up there. Salah is elite level. Bukayo Saka is still trying to get there. On current form, I think Saka is the best right now on current form. But in terms of how long they've done it, in terms of consistency, in terms of what they've done, achievement, I think Bukayo Saka, Mohamed Salah, and Riyad Mahrez, I would place those 2 right wingers ahead of Saka. Anyone else, I think Saka is better right now.
I've got
on form, or is it? Sorry to cut you off. Is that on form or is that on past form? Are we talking? Because I'm not talking about.
I'm talking all round. Though. I'm talking all round. Because I can't just look at what those two have done in the last couple of years and just say, oh, Saka is better because Saka is having a better season. And I'm also waiting for Saka to have his hand on the trophy, and we could also, because these guys are Premier League winners.
Yes,
that's true.
But on form, my question is more on form.
I think Saka is there on form right now.
On form.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. My mistake. On form this season, and Kyle again. Look, and Mahrez is a good shout, and of course Mohamed Salah. Come on, but Kyle on form. Bukayo Saka. Is he the best right winger that's out there?
On form at the moment, as we speak, Saka is the best right winger in the country. On form. But I totally agree with Akpos.
Yeah, of course. I completely concur.
And I want Salah to be called a true great. He has to lift up the Premier League title. To go down with the
that's a fact.
Club, he has to lift up the silverware to prove it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at like legends of the game; they're the ones with the numbers and with the silverware, with the titles. You get amazing players that play for teams that never win anything. I mean, I guess there's the Harry Kane debate.
Letitia did it. Yeah.
Yeah. But what we were saying about Saka, kind of the last couple of seasons, was we know like he's incredible. Like we can see it, but he's got to get the numbers now. He's got to get the stats, the number of goals, the numbers of assists for other teams to start taking him seriously. And that's what he's doing this season. Like we're getting the end result. We're getting these amazing goals out of nothing. Sometimes just out of nowhere, he just strikes it about 20 yards out in the top corner. I think he's just more like goal focused this year rather than like timidly kind of helping assist someone else. I think this season he stepped up and gone like, I'm that guy. And it's beautiful to see. So from strength to strength he goes, and I think everyone else is starting to realise what a player we have. He just needs the silverware. And as this Arsenal team develops, there's no limit on the potential of especially Saka. So, yeah.
I think Bukayo Saka is a player that every Premier League team that's looking to win the Premier League or to improve their squad is looking at. But they all know that it's going to be a big pound signing. And to try to get him from Arsenal, I think he's the kind of player that wants to stay where he is. And I see the confidence in Bukayo Saka, a little bit of not arrogance, but it's a quiet confidence. He's going in there. It's like I can't be beat. I won't be beaten. I love that. And the more I see Bukayo Saka on the pitch where he's under pressure, the more he gets hammered, the more he gets kicked, the more he gets harried. It's as if he rises to the occasion and he takes it on like, you know what? I've got this. And he just steps up another gear. Every time he steps up another gear, as soon as a team throws two defenders at him, he finds a way. He finds a way to either assist or to make an impact in the game. And I think that's what's got every single team in the world looking at this player as an up-and-coming star. And I'm pretty sure teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, even to an extent Paris Saint-Germain would look at Bukayo Saka now and say, this is the kind of player we'd love to have in our squad. I'm just going to get into the comments real quick. Oh, sorry, Kyle, what were you thinking?
Steve, when you're talking about Saka, let me say something. When I look back at Arsenal Football Club, I talk about legends. I'm talking about the likes of Dennis Bergkamp, Henry. Personally, one of my all-time favourites, Robbie Perez. I even go further back. You're talking about one of my all-time greats, Davis Rocastle.
That's in the cupboard. I've got one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Legends. Since that invincible team, people speak of the couple of names that I've heard between then and now. Ozil is no legend of this club. He's an absolute disgrace of a man. Then to talk about the great Sanchez. They mentioned Sanchez in the bracket of being a legend to this club. In my eyes, he ain't no fucking legend either. So for the first time, since those legendary players that I mentioned, this is the first boy that I'm thinking to myself, here's a new legend of Arsenal Football Club. True legend. Not one of these assholes like Ozil or Sanchez. But this boy could be a true legend. And I'm hoping and praying that this happens to this boy. Because this boy is an exceptional player.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Craig's come in and said, "Look, Vinicius Junior and Saka for me at the moment." I would throw Salah in there.
Sorry, I'll see. Vinicius plays on the left.
He does play on the left. Actually, it's true. But that's a good point. That was a player I was looking at for depth for Martinelli at one stage. That's
He's
a fact.
great.
Craig.
He's
a great player.
I love him.
Wow.
Steve,
Wow.
we'll go throw something out there to you all there in the panel and in the chat. I hear you talking about. I hear you start mentioning Saka.
Oh,
And just one second there, Steve. I'll just hold the line. We're going to win the league, Mavericks. Champions this season, son.
Do you see that? You see that? Carl Walsh Gunner has said it on the Aussie Gooner channel that we are gonna win the league. You heard it. And I'm telling you, Mafia Boss has also said it. We are winning the league. Do you see it? It's already happening.
listen,
That's the Villa supporter, by the way. My question was, you have to get it at them, you know what I mean? Because they get at me all the time. But what I'm going to say is this. Would you rather have Saka or Trossard? Personally speaking, I've always wanted Trossard ahead of Saka. Saka, for me, does too much diving, too much nonsense. Good player, don't get me wrong, but Trossard all day long for me.
Look. I think Zaha in a better team, in an Arsenal team, would excel. I think Zaha at Crystal Palace would struggle, much like Trossard would struggle in Crystal Palace right now. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. You know what I mean? And now that we've seen what Trossard can bring, goals and assists, I would have to agree with you, Kyle, with hindsight, that, I would take Trossard over Zaha.
He appears to have... Oh, go on.
Yeah. No, but that's just me right now because of what I've seen Trossard do for Arsenal. Not to say Zaha is not that good. I think Zaha is a good player, but he's struggling in its Crystal Palace team that, I mean, as soon as it gets to the final third, the options are limited. It's all Zaha, and that's what makes it difficult. But what were you saying, Fran?
I was going to say, Trossard seems to have a bit less of an ego as well. He's a bit more like of a grafter. He just gets stuck in, like, work, like a bit more head on the ground. But I mean, I know this is cheating, but I would love to see both. I would love to see, as Steve was saying, Zaha surrounded by the quality that we've got with all the chances being created. And I know sometimes our front lot get criticised, not Saka, but for being a bit like weak and, a bit too like light. And Zaha is like power and aggression, and I think that would have such a great impact on everyone else in the sort of front line. I love him. I think he's great. I want to see what he could do in our team. So
and he's an Arsenal boy, so that's why I think me and Akpos, we're on the same. Akpos, would you agree?
I wanted Zaha also, and also the thing about Trossard, what we're seeing now, I think for every transfer there is a 50-50 chance for it to work out or not work out, and also one thing we should not forget about Trossard, he did not really have that much consistency when he was playing at Brighton. I think we could see him do it for, let's say, 2 games. You could see what he could do. Like, this guy has top quality, and maybe in the next 2 games you'll be looking for the same player you've watched in the last couple of games. Trossard also was not very consistent with bringing his A game in all of his performances with Brighton also. But I think he has come into a football club where he's being tuned to the frequency where we have top players playing around him. He has a football club that is fighting to achieve something, and him also is also raising his game to that level where he wants to be, be in the first team week in, week out also. I think for you to do that at the top football club like Arsenal, you need to be doing that in a very consistent level and doing it at your very best.
Look, I couldn't agree with you more, Akpos. I swear I couldn't agree with you more. But there's a comment that just came in, and it's right ahead of everyone else. And this is one that really, I'm just going to click on it, and then the whole panel's going to see it. Now, this is a smart-ass comment. Okay,
very smart.
I'm going to click on it. What a smart-ass, right? From a guy who can thank Fulham for his progress. But big up the football capital anyway, mate. Big up, mate. You smart ass prick.
Bubusha, not to worry. I was expecting Manchester United versus Arsenal in the final, but how will I say it? We did not show up, and at the end of the day, the better team won. So I hope you guys win it, because if you don't win it, I would need to replicate this comment.
It was
Yeah,
shambles.
I-
We were shambles.
We were a joke in the Europa. But I mean, this Palace game was, honestly, it was as soon as we scored that goal, and I had a feeling that as soon as we scored the first goal, it would open up, and Crystal Palace would have to open up. The goal from Martinelli, in my opinion, was just out of this world. His control, his finishing on his weaker side was great. But sorry?
He's done it a few times from that specific sort of angle. I think he's getting a bit of confidence, like in that area of the penalty box, being able to get that angle, which is like not easy to score. And yeah, he did it again. But carry on.
And he's getting, like, you wouldn't expect it after the missed penalty. You'd think his head would have dropped, and that's what I was getting to. His head hasn't dropped, and he's just gotten an opportunity, one of the best opportunities of the game, if not the only opportunity of the game, and he hasn't faltered. He's just gone, I'm going for goal.
Bang. Did you see? Did you see his post-match interview?
No, I didn't.
You should, watch it. Where the interviewer, she was harsh. To be fair, she was
really?
At him. She was like, "So, how was your head after missing that crucial penalty in the Europa League and all this?" But he answered it so cool, so calm, and like he said, like that whole night, like he was thinking about it, and it did affect him. He was thinking about how he could have done it differently. But then he said, like the next morning, he woke up, focused on the task at hand, like didn't let it get to him. And yeah, that's what we saw. But you should go and watch it. It was really interesting. But like it was elite. Like he was real strong, like in that interview. So yeah.
But that's similar to what we're seeing from all the players in this team. Wouldn't you guys agree with the panel? I mean, the panel, let me know. Wouldn't you agree that every single player in this team hasn't just got confidence, but it's like it's a never say die attitude.
Mm-hmm. And a bounce back ability. I mean, if you look at, can you think of anyone better to have around you when you screw up in a big moment than Bukayo Saka, who we know all the adversity he went through after the Euros and stuff. And imagine him giving you advice on how to... Sorry. Yeah. Imagine turning to Saka and going like, bro, I screwed up here. Like, everyone hates me. Like, give me advice. Because Saka's come out of it all and flourished and like doubled down on proving everyone wrong. So I just think having Saka in the team for moments like that for Martinelli is just massive.
Oh, look, I think Martinelli is just going to go from strength to strength. Kyle, I want to ask you, the second goal that came through, did you obviously saw that second goal. Now, Saka's finished that really well. Ben White. That pass from Ben White. We say 1 centimeter to the left and it gets cut out. 1 centimeter to the right gets cut out. What were your thoughts? When I saw that pass, I was like, no.
Yeah.
That was Houdini moment.
Yeah, my thoughts there, Steve, was very simple. I hear people talking about Thomas Partey. I hear people talk about Saka. I hear people talking about this fella, that fella. Best player on the pitch was Ben White. Ben White was absolutely exceptional. This Ben White, for me, I couldn't understand why we spent 50 million on him. I was raging. Ben White, like other players this season, like Saka, for example, has proven to me that they've upped their game. They're like new players. Like, I have to give Ben White credit. I think Ben White has been very, very, very good this season. I thought he was the best player on the field on Sunday. And fair play to him. And hopefully this form continues. But it was a great pass, and it just goes to show that this fella can play football, Steve.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Seriously. This fella's not a fool. I don't know what's going on with the England international team. Obviously, there's a few problems going on there that we don't know about.
Good. I'm happy.
I honestly don't give a fuck about the English football team. So the story is, I want Ben White to perform for Arsenal, and he's performing. So I was absolutely delighted to see it, and it was a great goal. I loved the way Saka just glided it in. It was a beautiful goal all around.
Oh, it was. I think. I don't know about you, Akpos. When you that pass from Ben White to Saka, you know what it is. I don't know if you noticed, like you know when they talk about Saka and Ben White, that link up play and how you always see Ben White overlap. You see that. I'm looking at Odegaard, I'm looking at Ben White, and I'm looking at Saka, and I know Akpos, you're seeing it. These guys are playing football like a symphony together. The link-up play between these three players, and you saw it, the way Odegaard's linking up with Saka and Ben White's getting in the mix. What are your thoughts on this sort of these three musketeers on the right?
Well, for me, I'm also a musketeer of a different theory also. So I understand how that understanding usually flows, and that into role change in roles, switching in play, and all. So those three for me, I think they're very vital to how we play. That overload we always have on the right side. Every game when one is missing, you could feel the impact. And that Europa Cup League game, I thought we missed that overload on that right side in the absence of Martin Odegaard, because Fabio Vieira, I still understand that he's still having his time to be acclimatized to a new environment, a new team. Also, he definitely needs time to adapt very well. So I think he missed that quality that Martin Odegaard brings to that right side. I think that was why the right winger also was not as effective as it usually would be. So that's where Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Ben White gives us there. And just like Kyle, also I was a little bit skeptical when we paid 50 million from a player coming from Brighton. I was like, why are we paying that much for a player that of this profile? But I think also I want to give credit to the manager, because this was somebody who was brought in as a centre back, and the manager have seen that, okay, I could also utilize him as a right back, and that decision also is paying off, because that's understanding he has got with Bukayo Saka on that right. When we have other players who are playing in that position, sometimes I think we miss it going forward, because when Bukayo Saka is with the ball, is running ahead of him. When Saka is moving, Ben White knows what to expect. So I think the manager needs to take also some of the credits. That's changing position from taking Ben White from the center position area also to right back. I think we need to give the manager credit, but also those three, I think they're very, very dynamic with the way we play, and I think it's going to win us a lot more games. We also need to continue to do it better, because I think that's one of our very strong areas, to expect most of our goals coming from that right side. That's changing position between Odegaard, Ben White, and Saka. I think we have been doing it very well, and I hope that we continue to improve it, because I think now it's good. It's been very good, but I think there's also still room for improvement to make it even so much better.
I've got so about all this interlinking, I've just kind of looked back on the whole season, and do you remember it was basically there were points in, I can't remember if it was at the beginning of this season or last season, where we just had like two options, which was like get the ball out wide and then see how far those guys can push forward before they get like bottlenecked into a dead end, and then maybe, so obviously Arteta's looked at that situation where the players were doubling up on Martinelli, Saka, and thought like, how can we bring the rest of the team in to like get these guys out of these situations and have more options? I mean, look at Martinelli, Saka passing it to Martinelli to score. Like before, they used to be so separate out on each wing, like no kind of real. Do you know what I mean? I think
there was no unison. It was literally hit and miss football. It was, let's stretch it out to the wings and hope for the best, and hopefully somebody will run into the box and we'll find them. Whereas now, I think what you mean is there seems to be more strategy to our runs. There seem to be more. It's a direct sort of a feel, even though it's just 4 or 5 passes in the same area. We know that there's going to be a runner on the ball, whether it be Bukayo Saka or Odegaard. Mm-hmm. And I'm in awe of it, because I haven't seen football played this well by Arsenal since what, 2000, 99, 2000. I haven't seen this kind of football, and I'm finally seeing it now.
We are playing the best football that I've seen since the Invincibles. We're playing exceptional football, and the most important thing, I have not seen this winning mentality from this Arsenal Football Club since then. There's a mentality, Steve O, that's like
Fucking
mine,
nice.
and I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to really believe for the first time in 19 years that we can actually go on and win this league title.
Kyle,
And
question.
that's fair play. That's fair play to Arteta, and fair play to this squad of players for making the likes of me start to change my mind and start to jump on this now as well, because they're doing exceptionally well. I don't agree with the way we've disrespected the other cup competitions.
Yes.
Both, it seems to me we are totally focused on winning this Premier League title. And by Jesus, we better win it, or there'll be absolute mayhem. If
There
we don't.
will. There will. I was going to say, Kyle, who do you put the credit on for like this winning mentality, the mentality these players have got now? I mean, I know who I think, but where do you think that's come from?
Fran, for me, when it comes, I played football as well at a good standard. And for me, the winning mentality, it has to come from one. And that is the top man himself, the manager himself. His job is to bring belief into the squad, to drive the troops on. If you're in the trenches together. And this is where the mentality comes into place. And I will clap Arteta for this, because I wanted that man. I didn't want that man in the first place. And I've been calling for him to be out. That's all you hear from me for the last 4 years. He's starting to change my mind in the last couple of weeks.
And we need to remember as well, I think, you just made me remember, do you remember how we've been talking about every single player that we've signed? Mentality of that player has been so thoroughly checked by the recruitment team, and that seems to be like almost just as important, if not more, than like their technical ability and like record and stuff. So they've been bringing in these players with the same mentality. I just think it's so smart to have focused on the mentality in that way. And now we've got all these winners in the club, like Zinni, Trossard had it. Who knew? Like all of them. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but I think I don't know. Someone said this thing the other day. It's like 95% like what's up here. It is with most sports, isn't it? You think boxing, Steve, and they've just done such a fantastic job at identifying that as what needed to be changed, among other things, and going forward.
Fran, it had to be changed because the mentality was so weak at our club for the last 20 years.
Isn't it beautiful hearing Conte down the road?
Fran,
on about the mentality.
Well, let me tell you something. I actually clap Conte.
Yes, man. Woo!
Because Conte is a fucking winner.
I know. I'm fed up.
And it's looking at these players failing. And that's where I come from. That's failure.
Yeah.
And the Arsenal fans are always talking about Spurs. Fuck Spurs. So are they.
No, just like the juxtaposition of like, as we're talking about how great our mentality is, having Conte just like fucking calling them out for 20 years of shit mentality.
And he's right. He's 100% right. Fair play to him.
He's spot on. He's spot on. Me and Deji, we broke it down in a spade. Me and Deji broke it down, and I was trying to tell Deji, your issue is at the top. It's not just your manager, it's your owners. And I got through to him, but unfortunately, Deji's gone back to, I want Conte out. Good luck with that. Long may it continue. Don't listen to the Aussie Gooner. Stick with Levy, and I will never have to worry about you guys, and no one else will either. Tottenham Hotspur, if they keep going the way they're going, they'll forever just be a stone in every other team's shoe. And it's very easy to fucking get a stone out of your shoe. That's all they are. That's why nobody worries about them. And everybody, if they're going to be watching them, it's the shit. I watched that game because I had we got out of the Europa League. I watched the Spurs game because I wanted to piss myself laughing.
Yeah.
Fuck did they deliver. Fuck did they deliver. I felt so much. I looked at it and go, fucking, you know what? This is all good. I feel much better already. But look,
consistently shit. Anyway,
I
swear.
I swear. It's. I think Mikel Arteta does deserve a lot of praise again for all of what we're seeing here, and this is key. Look, this game went on. We saw Trossard get that assist to Saka, and I'm going to wrap it real quick. And we saw Saka score another goal. Yes, we conceded. I know, off a header. And that is an issue I think we all know
Yeah, the
we
free
are
kick,
facing when it comes to set pieces.
corners.
That's something that I'm pretty sure Mikel Arteta and the team have to work on. And I don't know about you, Akpos. Last season, we were probably one of the best teams defending set pieces and corners. This season, it's almost the exact opposite. What do you think? Do you have an idea of what's going wrong, or is it Zinchenko? You know, because I'm hearing a lot of bullshit. Oh, now we got Zinchenko in. We can't defend the fucking corner. No shit. I'm hearing that.
Well, like
No,
I can't. For me personally, I cannot put the blame on Zinchenko on
I don't fucking know.
play. I think when you defend corner kicks, if you have played the game, you would know that you have to do it as a unit. If one person switch off, definitely you're going to consider goal. And the people pointing the fingers at Zinchenko, as Zinchenko being at fault for every goal we've considered from a set piece. So I think we need to start doing defending set pieces a lot more better as a unit. And we need to keep our head in the game every time we consider set piece, a corner kick, a free kick, because just a millisecond, when you switch off for a second, you could be considering a goal. Just when you get distracted for a second, you would definitely consider going in this situation. So, like you said, last season we were one of the best teams in defending and making goals out of this set pieces situations. But this season, I can't really pin my fingers or point my fingers to what I think is wrong, because I'm not with the backroom staff. We are not seeing, we don't have a lot of all of this information, what's going on. But I think from what we could see in the games, maybe a lot of times we are thinking, okay, like for that one, we were 3-0 up. Maybe we were not switched on with the fact that, okay, if they got one goal, they could potentially be back in the game. We thought we were playing at home. The game was done and dusted. So maybe, just maybe, we allowed some, how will I say it, we underrated them a little bit in that situation, and we lost our focus. So I think going forward, we need to do so much better in this situation. Be more focused. It doesn't matter what the scoreline is going to be, 4-0, 3-0. We need to keep our head on the game in this set pieces situation and make sure we stop conceding goals, because some of those goals from set pieces are really avoidable if we continue to do it as a team, as a unit. So I can't really point my fingers to maybe Ramsdale or any of the defenders. But I look at this team now, I think we have decent height in terms of our defenders, in terms of the guys we have at our disposal. So we should make sure we are having the right pairings also, because in some of this set piece situation, if there's a huge gap in terms of the players you are matching, if there is a top player, one top player from our side should be the one keeping an eye on them and making sure that they don't get to the ball firstly. So we need to take all of these accounts into consideration and do it so much better. And I know definitely Mikel and the team are looking at these situations and coming up and bringing up strategies and ways to mitigate it, to make sure that we stop conceding these silly goals from set pieces.
You saw how annoyed Rambo was. Goal, smacking the ground. Like they're definitely focusing on it, as you say, and working towards it. The set piece coach must be tearing his hair out.
and there's nothing Ramsdale could do in that situation. It is a worry. It is a worry. BX Gunner comes in and says, and I'm going to add to this agenda of Rob Holding. I'm going to add him to the mix. The agenda's against Eddie, and I will say Rob Holding, if you don't mind, BX Gun, I'm going to add him.
Yeah, we'll talk about Rob.
And we got to talk about Robert. You know, he's got his hair, and now all of a sudden, bloody hell, Holding Dino. You know, I think you're saying and Eddie are astounding. Would you think some would appreciate some great goals this season? But no, BX Gunner. That is a very good point. I think the problem with Arsenal fans, and panel, correct me if I'm wrong, is that what Arsenal fans want is a like-for-like replacement from the bench. They want a Gabriel Jesus to start, and they want a Gabriel Jesus off the bench to come in and be ready to be Gabriel Jesus. Eddie Nketiah is a different animal to Gabriel Jesus. Eddie Nketiah is a classic number 9, a striker, a poacher, a fox in the box, a Lacazette-esque kind of player. Whereas Jesus is a more of a link-up kind of play, a hold-up kind of merchant, maybe a false 9. And the problem that we have here is that when Jesus is off, it's not just maybe the goals missing from Jesus that goes missing. It's Martinelli as well. And so the blame falls on the blame's falling on Eddie. I don't think it's fair to throw Eddie into the fire because Eddie Nketiah is costing us goals. I think Eddie Nketiah is a good up and coming prospect. And now that we have Trossard, we do have depth up front. I don't know, guys. Rob Holding as well. Yeah. Seriously, he hasn't put a foot wrong in 2 games. I'm not saying he's as good as Saliba. He's not. He's not good enough to be in the starting 11, but he can put a shift in. That's my point.
I wanted to address so bringing in these players, having played no minutes, time and time again, they're just ready to go. They don't look rusty, and it's such a huge credit. Rob Holding hasn't played all season. It's such a huge credit to the way that the training ground is run and how much ready these players are. And yeah, I mean, I was harsh on Eddie because he's not Jesus, but then we're comparing, as you say, 2 completely different players. And sometimes I've hoped for Eddie to be fit because he is different. And it would be nice to have just a little poacher that can, tuck those chances in. But yeah, the way these players come in so fresh, ready to play, Rob, yeah, big up.
Kyle, your thoughts? I know Eddie Nketiah has never been a kind of player you liked, but for what he's done, I'm not saying let's praise him over them. And remember, he's a player to come off the bench.
I'll go be real quick there, Steve Walk, because I live literally 2-3 minutes away, and I'm going to have to run over to charge the phone. The phone's going dead on me any second.
Nice.
So I'm just going to say, and I'll jump back on them, but I'm going to say this to you about Eddie Nketiah. I wouldn't put Eddie Nketiah on anything. I think Eddie Nketiah is a championship player at best. Everybody is saying this and that about Eddie Nketiah, that he's up and coming. He's 24 years of age. He's had been at championship sides. He has been at Arsenal for a long time. This season, yes, he scored 2 good goals against Man United. Big time. Fair play to him. 4 Premier League goals in 23 games, not good enough. And don't forget that we're playing Champions League football next season. And if you're going to be relying on Eddie Nketiah in the Champions League, forget about it. That's just my opinion. This ain't, that's just my opinion. Everyone has their opinion. For Arsenal Football Club, Eddie Nketiah is not the answer.
Okay,
no, but as a number 3 striker, because he would be number 2 to Trossard.
He'd be number 4 to me. Martinelli, Martinelli forward out.
I think obviously Arteta sees something in him, and we haven't trusted when Arteta brought in Ben White, Ramsdale.
Yeah.
And for Arteta to go so hard on Eddie and give him this big new contract, there must be something that we're not quite putting our fingers on or seeing yet. So I'll give Arteta the benefit of the doubt. He's earned it, and let's see what Eddie can do.
Can I contribute to what Fran and Kyle were saying about Eddie Nketiah? I would like us to also remember that when we had Thierry Henry, we had Nwankwo Kanu, we had Dennis Beckham, we had Freddie Ljungberg, we had Robert Pires. All of these guys were contributing their different quarters to the team. And we should not forget that we would need, it's definitely going to be a marathon if you want to compete for the league title. We're talking about Gabriel Jesus, we're talking about Gabriel Martinelli, we're talking about Bukayo Saka. But Eddie Nketiah came into this team and also has contributed his quarter. So where we are right now. During the eras where, the period where Gabriel Jesus was injured, Eddie Nketiah has come into this team and has contributed his goals to our title pursuit. So for me, definitely you would need players that would bring in different quality. And for me, Eddie Nketiah is a goal pusher. If you look at his record for the England under 21s, he's one of the best goal scorers. I think he holds the record currently as top goal scorers for the England under 21s. So for me, you definitely also need a goal pusher in this team. Somebody whose main role in the team is to come into the team and get the goals when you need it. And Eddie Nketiah has shown that, okay, yes, I could be your goal getter. I could do it for you. But I understand what some of these guys are saying, that okay, he's not good enough. But I still look at Eddie and like what Fran rightly said, the manager is saying a lot of things that a lot of us are not saying. Because when you see these guys also in training, I think this also tend to send a different message entirely. So I think these guys, for them to be putting faith in him, they've given him that new contract that comes with the big money salaries and all. So I think definitely there's a potential there. We could have a striker that could potentially not play 90 minutes for all the games in the season, but could potentially give you 10, 15 goals. And if you add that to what the other players are contributing, could be taking you over the finish line to winning a title or to being successful in Europe. I hear what they're saying in terms of him not being good enough, but these guys are showing faith in him for a reason. So let's see what's going to happen in the summer.
Well, I think Eddie brings. Everyone asks for that. What I want something different off the bench. And guys, if you haven't, please like and share and subscribe to like the content, please. Share the content around and please subscribe to the Aussie Gooner channel. But I need you to subscribe to Akpos. What's the channel again, please?
Football Talk Shop.
Don't forget, and it's in the description. Fran, I need you to sell here. It's called marketing.
Oh, I hate it.
Fran, where can they find you apart from this
channel? You don't
channel?
want to market. I could do it for Fran because she has got amazing, very good pictures of the Arsenal players and of Mikel also. You need to check out what she's doing. Check out her Instagram handles and also her social media, YouTube channel also, because for me, I used to do a lot of art last couple of years, some years past. I've not tried my hands more recently. So when I see what she's doing, I'm amazed. So definitely, if you need an Arsenal painting or something for your setup and for your deco in your homes, you need to go into a DM and definitely send Fran a message. She has got you covered for that.
Oh, I love you, man. And just to counter that, I'll mark it for you. You know more about, like, you are so underrated. The amount you know about our team, and like your head is so screwed on. Like, you speak with facts. You know so much about the team. Just everyone needs to go and follow the Football Talk Show, Akpos, and Aussie's going to try and help you like grow it to where it needs to be as well. And so everyone needs to get on that, because Akpos, like, you could be on like Sky Sports. Actually, Sky are terrible. Somewhere better. Because you're like,
thanks, Fran. Thanks.
It's okay. Right. Yeah. Go on. Sorry. Let me just carry on quick. So yeah, this is one of my paintings I just did. Yeah.
Who's that again?
Oh, you can't really see it, but I did it in colored pencil and paint and stuff. So I do these Arsenal drawings. This one took me 3 days. I just finished it yesterday. So please go and follow Goal Art. So on Instagram, I've got YouTube channel. That's the name of my website as well, where I sell prints of these and like streetwear. So I scan the paintings and turn them into streetwear for fans, and they look pretty cool. I'm going to make one from these soon as well. So yeah, that's my trying to make that into my full-time thing. So yeah, thank you, Steve.
Guys, can you look how cool that is? You know what I mean? You could have some Arsenal freaking legends, one day legends, on some fucking great streak here. What do you?
That's
look at that
painting that I painted. Yeah, it took me like 100 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's on my website.
You guys have to check out. You guys got to check her out. Like, can we have a look at that, please? Throw it on there, guys. Check this out. Check this out. Get that. Frame that. That's so frameable, man. You see, that's honestly, guys. You got to check out. You got to check out Fran's channel. She's obviously got her own website that you guys can go ahead and have a look at some merch. Not trying to make any sales. Have a look. Maybe you see something you like. But to be perfectly honest, she's fucking massive. She's a wonderful artist. I think we can all agree on that. Guys in the comments, thank you very much. I mean, Gunaresh, my guy from Australia, smash the like, share the channel around to your mates and on socials. Yeah, big up. And I swear, big up the chat. Thanks to everyone in the chat. I mean, this channel is almost at 400 subs, and it's because of you guys. Seriously, and I really do appreciate it. But Steve, I've got a little fun.
Go on. I've been saying like for 2 years though, you're so underrated. You deserve to be like one of the biggest Arsenal channels on YouTube. Like, the personality that you bring with it, with the football knowledge, I just love watching you, as you know. Almost like a stalker since like day one. So guys,
I really
you need
appreciate
to get
that.
Steve up there. He deserves it. He's on the terrace and stuff. You need to plug it on the terrace as well, because so many people watch it.
I know, I know. You know, honestly, I really appreciate that, friend. I really do. And I appreciate everybody that's followed this channel and supported this channel from day dot. The content creators, my subscribers, everybody. You do your best. You do the best you can, and hopefully it picks up. And you know what? Slowly but surely, as they say, you know what I mean? It's all about patience being a virtue. But I've got this banner going at the bottom, guys. It's my fun stats. Check it out.
Ooh.
Every starting line player for Arsenal has scored at least one goal this season. Okay, every starting line except for Ramsdale. Okay, we'll take Ramsdale out. Look at that. Our defensive line combined has scored 7 goals. from the defense. Now, you guys tell me when was the last time you saw that in the Arsenal squad? Our midfield, check it out, 17. Our front line scored 30. We're getting goals from fucking everywhere. I mean, if you guys want Ramsdale to score a goal, I'll put a poll and we'll get him to take pens, right? Because that way at least he'll have a goal too.
Yeah.
It's an impressive stat. For me, I look at that and I think, shit, it's danger as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
Guys in the chat, have you guys noticed that? I mean, I'm seeing goals everywhere.
and it's a safety net, okay? Because we're not overly reliant on one particular striker. And so people say like, oh, what if we've got injuries that come in the last 10 games and stuff? Like everyone on this pitch has shown that they're capable of scoring, linking with each other. We're not overly reliant on one person, maybe Partey, but as you say, it's just amazing. Continue.
I'm honestly in awe of this team at the moment. And to be perfectly honest, I think the next game that'll be coming up will be Leeds. Of course, it's after a massive break. I hope the momentum doesn't slow us down at all. But I'm quietly confident that we're going to get a win there, and the pressure will fall all on Manchester City's head.
Yeah, Leeds have a bit of bite about them, though. You know, we've got another one. Again, another cup final. Never underestimate. Go on, though.
No,
sorry to interrupt.
No. I mean, every game is a cup final, just like Akpos was saying. I think every game, and you've heard Mikel Arteta say it, every game here on to the end of the season is a cup final. Prince Fahad comes in saying Trossard is the best signing of January. Yes. Yeah. Facts. Facts.
True.
Warren's come in. Check it out. Arsenal points. 69 points, 28 games played, 10 games left to play. Man City, 61 and 27, 11 games left to play. We just need to stay calm.
Yeah.
Focus on the top.
Yeah.
We just need to not capitulate. And I think that's what I'm so afraid of. And so many people are afraid of, because arguably it happened last year. We've seen it happen time and time again. But I'm having faith that the team's not going to do it. We've got too much quality in there. The new signings, Trossard, Zinchenko, like their mentality, Jesus, incredible. It's not going to happen. We're winning.
Look, I don't. The thing that I've got here, right? And look, we got Arsenal fans in the chat. We got Chelsea fans in the chat. It's okay to be excited and to be happy with what we're seeing so far. And the reason why I'm not, oh, he's so happy, he's jumping for joy. They think Steve thinks he's won the league. No, what I'm trying to say is we're top of the league, deservedly. We're playing a brand of football that many a team are in awe of.
I'm in awe.
I think everyone in the chat is in awe. Manchester City are worried. Liverpool would look at us and say, you know what, a better team. We're competing against some of the best teams in the Premier League, and we're winning. We're top of the league. We're scoring. And you can see the stat there, guys. You can see the stat there. It speaks for itself. Goals from the defense, goals from the midfield, goals from the front three. And if you want to throw Trossard into the front three, go ahead, throw him in. And if you want to throw Nketiah into the front three, go ahead, throw him in. That's fine by me. Throw them all in, because they've all scored. It's fine by me. Jorginho, you want to throw him in? Throw him in.
And that goal. Oh, the fuck.
Throw him in. Everyone is scoring goals here. I haven't seen Akpos. When was the last time you saw Arsenal scoring goals from the midfield? And this many? I know you've...
That was a long time ago. Long time ago, where we've got goals distributed into every part of the team. But we have a team that the goals is coming from everywhere right now. And I saw the comment about Warren saying Eddie is not good enough. He should go out now. I think we should keep all of this talk till the end of the season. In my opinion, I understand what you guys are trying to say, but I think now it's not the time for us to be calling for players to go out in the middle of the season. I think we have other more pressing issues to be more united and focused on. If he's not good enough, we can evaluate his performance at the end of the season. But right now, I think it's not too good for us to be dishing out some of these messages out to the players. They are on social medias also. They see some of those things that we say, some of the things that we talk about them. I don't think it's cool for us to, as supporters of this football club, to say some of these things in the middle of the season. When it's transfer window time, we could come out and say, okay, evaluate their performance over the period of time, which is to be the season by the end of the day. Now you're talking about Eddie going out. We don't know if Eddie is going to be the players who wins us the league or not. So I was talking about the last time when we went invincible. We had one Kokanu, other players. Thierry Henry was the main striker, scoring most of the goals. But there are definitely going to be games where you need some of those guys who are not going to play 90 minutes every game to come into this team and score decisive goals for you. Eddie has proven to be one of them at the moment. So I think it's a little bit harsh for us to say Eddie is not good enough. He should go out now in the middle of the season. In my opinion, that's what I think about.
Yeah, big up.
I agree. Big up on that. TJ Warren's saying, at what age do you stop being a prospect? And that's a good point. I mean, if Eddie Nketiah reaches the age of 26 years old and he hasn't flourished, then I'm pretty sure we'd be happy to let him go. But don't forget, we've also got Balogun coming back. We've also got
Man scored yesterday already. So
you know what? I know you're saying hopefully. I don't think we have to hope. I think he's going to want to come back now.
True.
I think he'll be sitting there going, you know what? This is a team I got to go back to because this is a team where I can grow now. We got Nuno Tavares who's been doing bits coming back.
Yeah.
I know he was shocking, but he's coming back at left back. We've got players coming back. And look, TJ Warren, I know what you're saying. And Warren, I know where you're coming from. Eddie out. And we'll throw Arteta under the bus as well while we're at it.
You know, other teams. Oh, no, go on, Steve.
No, please.
Okay, you know, other teams are looking at our fan base and going like, what are they doing? They're like laughing at us that we're still saying like, this player out, this guy's not good enough. When we're top of the league, like they would die to be in our position, 8 points clear. They're like, why is the fan base still trying to find problems with this team? I think that a lot of fans don't want to get egg on their face if we do screw up. But I think like get behind the team. Like what more can they do for us to? I would be so offended if I was one of the players having done so much this season.
Exactly.
We've still got fans going like, oh, this player out. We're not good enough. We've got to improve here. Yeah, I'm over it. And like back them all together. People are laughing, going, why are the fan base not just backing their team? Why are they not coming like with chest? Like, so
look,
yeah.
I understand. Look, I completely understand. We're supposed to be the 12th man, right? We're supposed to be the 12th man. And the 12th man at the moment, if we were struggling, if we were playing football that wasn't convincing, guys tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. If the brand of football we were playing, which we haven't had a brand in years, we didn't even know what our formation was for a while. Yeah. If we didn't have an identity, then I could sit there and say, yes, last season at this stage, in our last 10 games, we won 5 and lost 5. And it happens regularly at this club. If it happens this season, we won't win the title again. That's true. But when we had Arsene Wenger, he should have retired in 2009. We got Unai Emery in for one season, and that was a joke. And by the time the team got over to Arteta, who was an officer at the time, who'd never had a team of his own, he made some signings that were a bit of a joke. Then the next season, he made some better signings. And the season after that, they're even better. So it takes time to build a team that's going to compete. And it takes time, in my opinion, for a team that's going to compete to convince people. But I'm a kind of person who watches football, and not just our team, every fucking team that is a competitor to Arsenal. And I'm the one telling you now that I'm seeing things that from this club that I haven't seen in years. And I know it's like, oh, I expect this, and these are my standards. We haven't won the fucking league since 2004. If these standards at the club at the moment, it means you have to pick up. You got to pick up, you got to pick yourself up, back the team. Back the team. I'm not saying you have to back the Cronkies. I don't like the Cronkies. I'm not saying you have to love Arteta. But you have to admit this team is playing good. And if you don't like it, lump it. Because we've got rival fans that don't have to banter us when we've got our own fans bantering us. Seriously. Warren, I love you. But the stat is fair. It is fair. But let's be honest. Which team has been the most convincing team this season? Because last season it wasn't Arsenal. This season it is. So what's your stat now? It's flawed. It's not the same team. It's not. So what can I tell you? You can throw that stat at me. Look at my stat. Look at my stat from this season. You tell me which team has got this many goals from all around the park and can name the players off the bench scoring apart from Manchester City. That's my rebuttal to that.
Manchester City have not looked convincing. Like when that's what you're saying, like which team looks the most convincing. Manchester City haven't sold me. Like they're just a touch off. They're still like an amazing team, but something's like not quite the same. Like the unity's not quite there. Whether that's the disruption from Haaland coming in, which by the way, Haaland just don't mention Haaland to me, okay? We're not talking about him right now. But yeah, we're the more convincing. Let's just back it. Carry on, Steve. I just had to add in that Man City aren't really themselves either. So
no, they're not. And the thing is, at the moment, guys, look, this game from this win over Crystal Palace, everyone was expecting us to flop. We didn't. I want to do player ratings real quick because we've.
Can I just add one more thing? I'm so sorry.
Go for it. No.
Wouldn't it be
It's
amazing
a
to
preview.
see? Wouldn't it be amazing to see every single Arsenal content creator, every Arsenal fan in the big wide world just coming at everyone else like with chest, like we're winning the league, like what are you going to do about it? And let's all just go for it together. And if we don't quite make it at the end, then we'll like admit we were wrong together. What's the harm in doing that? Do you know what I mean? I just want us to come with that energy that do you remember what Liverpool fans were like? I just don't get why. If people think Arsenal fans are so like unbearable online, like at least let's be unbearable behind the team, not like in our trying to pick them apart. I hope that happens. I hope that happens. Come on, we got this.
Honestly, if we all come together like they have at the Emirates, then maybe it'll be very hard to banter Arsenal. I think it wouldn't be as easy. I think the Arsenal fan base
so bad. They want it so bad.
Yeah. I think the Arsenal. There are some in the Arsenal content creators world that and I'm not saying Warren. No, not Warren. Warren, he's a true fan. But I'm saying some of them that want us to fail, and they'll say I'm an Arsenal fan, but this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. I'll be honest with you. I know the game. I know the game. I know the game of football. I really do. Not to the extent of Mikel Arteta, not to the extent of these managers. No, and neither do any of these content creators out there. The one thing I won't do is not call a spade a spade. The fact that the stat down the bottom is from this season, right now, and I'm not doing it to highlight positivity. I'm highlighting what's happened, and it's positive. Just like the league standings is positive. Just like the game against Crystal Palace was positive. Just like the game against Fulham was positive. In the league, it's been pretty positive. And all I can do is show you what's been going on. I also highlight the negativity when we concede goals. But I want the guys in the chat to make their own decision. I can sit here and highlight a lot of positivity and make it all perfect. It's not perfect. But no team in the Premier League is. But right now, Arsenal are the most convincing. That's my opinion.
What has thrown us though is our cup performances. Like it's very hard.
Yes.
It's so weird that we're so much worse in that environment, and it's hard for us to like say, oh no, in the league we're really good, but in these we're bad. Because it's the same team, and you're just thinking like, well, why won't this carry on into the Prem? But they've obviously got it separate in their heads. Like that's the one they care about the most, whether that's right or wrong. But that has like tainted it for me. That it puts doubt in my head when I see us perform like shambles in the Europa League, slipping all over the place. It was a mess. But I think I've just like in the league, it's different. Oh, thank you, Craig.
They're giving you great shout outs. Look, to be honest, I think I'm proud to be 100% underrated channel. I don't even like Arsenal, but you're good. Oh, man, don't do that, man. Come on, man. I'm not good with that. Guys, Chelsea OG in the building, right? This guy here, he's a fucking great guy. This guy's a real Chelsea fan. He's not a nugget, right? Trust me, check out his channel. Good content. Warren's team talk, all right? As much as we might go back and forward, we do voices fucking every day. Every fucking day, me and him.
Aussie first there. So it's up to Fran and I to carry on the show until he obviously gets back. But big up Chelsea OG. Big up Chelsea OG. This guy is always consistent. So a lot of people need to look at the table to see where Chelsea are currently to actually confirm that statement that Chelsea OG is always consistent. So, but Warren has got something on the screen right now which says City have got a game in hand. Plus, they have to play us at home. So, if they win both these games, if they win both of those games, they will have just 2 points behind us. But also, I think I look at City personally. I don't know if you agree with me, Fran. I look at City personally, the way they're playing, and I think like a lot of teams have got a chance with City the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they just have to come at them.
Exactly. In some games, they're looking untouchable, but in other games, I feel like you would get that chance to potentially score a goal too. When they play Crystal Palace, I think Palace were good in that game, but they had no penetrations whatsoever with the possession they were having. I think they had no goal, no shot on target in that game. So teams who would take their chances would potentially have an opportunity against City. When they played Bristol City, I think, in the FA Cup, I saw that Bristol had an opportunity or two to make that game 1-1 before the other goals came in. It seems the floodgates opened and more goals came in for Man City. So City also have a potential opportunity to drop points. If you look at their next fixture, they're going to play Liverpool, and a lot of people are looking at the Liverpool team that okay, they are not with their best form right now. This could potentially be a walkover game for City and all. But I look at that one and I say this is going to be a top team clash. Just like when Liverpool played Manchester United, not many of us gave them an opportunity to win the game. But we saw what happened. So I'm personally backing Liverpool, and I'm hoping they will get a decent result in that game against City. And from then on, because personally I'm looking at the next game. And for me, I don't like to plan too much ahead because things will change. There are definitely going to be changes. So the next game is the next final for you. So if City could potentially drop points in the next one against Liverpool, and if we win our next game, that's more points ahead for us. So I agree with what Warren was saying there, but let's see what's going to happen. We don't know. So after the next game, we could come again and talk about the potential things that could also happen. But what do you think on that comment from Warren, Fran?
This one on the screen, absolutely. I don't want Arsenal to fail. Also calling a spade a spade. There are sections of this team that need improvement, not a crying to call it out. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, absolutely. And I think two things can be parallel. You can say, I think we're going to win the league. That doesn't mean that we think the team's absolutely flawless. There's nowhere that needs to be improved. There's such a it's so black and white sometimes on the internet. Like you can think the team's going to win the league and completely back them, but also say, yes, I acknowledge we can improve in these areas, and both are true. So, good point, TJ.
TJ, look, I agree with you, TJ. I really do. I always call a spade a spade. I'm straight with you. There are places we need to improve, but I do believe that we've, as a team, collectively, we have improved massively compared to last season. I mean, you look at this team compared to last season's team, the way we're playing football, the way we're transitioning, the way the defenders are taking care of business somewhat, it's much better than previous season. So that's why I'm a little bit hyped, because the midfield, the way it's working together, the front line, the way it's working in regards to the midfield, the defenders coming forward and or covering when they have to go back, Zinchenko coming into the midfield and then we're able to cover his position. These are really good things to see. And so that's why I'm saying the two teams that we have at the moment, the team that we had last year and the team that we have this year, as much as it looks very much the same, the way they're playing is completely different. But, of course, it's good to critique the negative sides from time to time. Kyle, you're back. What's going on, mate? You look like you've just come out from like Star Wars or something. You got like.
I'll tell you something, Steve. I'll tell you something. I want to be straight about this. You know me. Don't hesitate. So I'm going to say it straight up. I live in an absolute fucking dump of a country. It's absolutely freezing and it's spilling rain there. It's fucking shambolic country.
Thanks, Chelsea OG.
It never stops. So I'm freezing here, Steve. So I threw that hoodie on. You know what I mean? A bit like Rocky Balboa. We're fighting, and the Arsenal team are fighting. This is what I'm looking for. I want to see the players swinging. You know what I mean, Steve? Backs against the ropes. You come out fighting in the final round, and I think that we're fighting. I feel that we're fighting, and I think that there is a certain mentality around the club that we haven't had for a long time. And yeah, of course we can straighten up in different sections of the team and of the squad. But as we speak, we're flying us. But be cautious, because it will all backfire very quickly.
Look, we can't just go in there thinking we're going to win every single game without an issue. That'll make us naive. You know what I mean? I don't think that the team is going in like that. I think the team is going in believing in themselves, saying our brand of football, if we stick to our guns, we stay sharp, we should be able to get a result against any team. And that's the kind of mentality I want.
And also the mentality that we can come back from going a goal down, which last season, maybe even two, like come back and draw the game, whatever. That just didn't happen last season, I think, is another thing on our side. Yeah, when you came in with it.
To be honest, guys, I wanted to do some player ratings. I don't know if you guys are interested.
I'm
honest. Let's go Aaron Ramsdale. Wasn't at fault for the goal, in my opinion, but did concede. Did fucking get lucky with the save against Zaha. Very lucky. I think, in my opinion, didn't really put a foot wrong apart from the goal. I'm thinking 7 out of 10. I don't know if it's too harsh, but I'm thinking a 7 out of 10 for Ramsdale in this game. Would you guys concur? Would you guys, or are you guys saying 7's too? Are you guys thinking like 9 or some shit, or 6?
I'd like to see how many. 7's pretty fair, but did he make any other like really vital saves? I can't remember. But I just fully rate him 7, 8. I think like the energy, like his personality, since he come into the team, like just floods into the whole back line and up the pitch, like that confidence, that bravado. I completely rate him. He's got a mistake in him, but I think his energy just for the team is just can't be replaced. I love him. So I'll say 7 as well.
Akpos, would you reckon 7? I mean, the chat's all saying 7 or 8. 8 if it was a clean sheet. What do you reckon? Akpos is going to say 5.
No. I would go with you. I would go with you in France. 7 is a good score for me. And if he had gotten that clean sheet, which I would have loved, also definitely an 8.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah,
your vibes
it's 7 out of 10 for me. Steve, his contribution to the game is very good, you know. So yeah, I'd definitely give him out 7 out of 10 there. No problem at all.
Did you see?
Yeah.
No, sorry. Did you see his comments at the football awards as well?
Yeah.
So he's gonna get like that and maybe an 8 for me from that, saying he wants to become a legend at this club and he's gonna fight and work so hard. He loves the club, so yeah, that's always gonna win me.
Fran.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. He has a very, very long way to go before he'd be classed as a club legend at this club.
Yeah, but I like that he's shooting for the
Yeah.
ambition's gonna keep
he
him.
can shoot all he wants. Until I see him lifting up league titles, doubles, stuff like that, then he can come back and start mouthing his mouth off.
Let him try. Give him a chance.
Until then, Ramsdale, do me a favour. Shut your fucking mouth.
Mate, you know what? No, I don't want him to shut his mouth, because when Bukayo Saka scored the second goal, did you see his reaction? He's looked at everyone and went, just taking a piss, like that's what he does. I like that. I want someone cocky. I want that. I like that. Not Martinez.
Steve, you're a boxer, right?
Yeah.
And you get into the ring and you can handle yourself. And you're a flashy boxer, a stylish fighter, and you're fighting a brother like me, say. And you're cocky and all the rest of us. And the next thing, I land one right hook and you're lights out. Ramsdale can do the same. Ramsdale can stand there and he can go all this way and that way. Then we end up dead loose like the Man City. Then all this smoothness and all this, does that count down? That's why I say win, then talk.
Oh, look, it's fair enough. Okay, okay, fair enough. We're going to move on to Ben White. And I'm going to let Kyle rate Ben White.
I ain't getting into the ring with you either, by the way. Just like you know that.
No, that's it. We can do it. I'll jump over to Ireland. I mean, you can go it. It's fine, mate. It's fine. I'm cool. It's easy. Oh, no headgear. You can wear your headgear. It's good. You know, whatever gloves you want me to wear.
I'm coming. I'll be there front row.
Let's do it. And we'll do it all for charity. Kyle, what do you reckon of Ben White? What would you rate Ben White in this game? Because I reckon
10
he's great.
10 out of 10, man the match. An outstanding performance. And once again,
wow.
I'm hyping this fella up because he deserves to be hyped up. He was, you know what I mean? We were all picking on him. We were all saying that he shouldn't be at the club. But he's done well. He's done fantastically well. He gets a 10 out of 10 from me, man the match. Brilliant performance.
Ooh. Akpos, are you thinking man of the match? Are you thinking 10 out of 10?
I think a 10 out of 10. I can't really disagree with much with that because, like Kai rightly said, I don't think Ben White put a foot wrong in that game. I think he had everything going so well for him, and his contribution also on the attacking side of by assisting that goal for Bukayo Saka. So I think for me, my man of the match would have been between Bukayo Saka and Ben White, but I would not disagree also with Ben White being the man of the match. So 10 out of 10, I cannot disagree with Kyle.
There you go. Okay, Fran. Are you saying 10 out of 10 man of the match, or are you saying nah? Come on. What do you think?
9.
9 man of the match or no?
If he didn't, did he score? He didn't score, did he?
No.
That would I give out my 10s rather harshly. I think if he managed to contribute right at the other end, but to be fair, I wasn't really. I'll like fair honesty. Before these play ratings, I was changing my fish out at the same time, which took me like 2 hours. So I was like half watching the screen and like listening to it on Radio 5 Live. So I'll just give basic play ratings.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 9.
Well, honestly, I'd have to agree with a 9. He'd be a candidate for man of the match, but he's not my man of the match. That's just me. I think we all know where I'm going to go.
I want to know who's your man of the match. Oh, are we going to get to it?
Definitely going to be Saka.
Yeah, you know, look, I can't not for me. I can't. Look, I'm a defensive player, but Saka in this game, I'm sorry, he was just too much.
I think I would agree with you also.
Yeah,
I've got
it's
an
just too much.
unexpected man of the match.
Oh, here we go. We're going to get there. Okay, look. Well, we had Rob Holding beside Ben White, and I'm happy to give Rob Holding an 8 out of 10 for this game because I think he almost got caught out one time, but I don't think it was his fault. It was the substitutions that might have hurt him. But I'm thinking of giving Ben White an 8 out of 10.
You mean Holding?
Sorry, not Ben White. Rob Holding, an 8 out of 10. Fran, you reckon 8, or do you reckon less, or do you recken more?
He's so
guys in
pretty.
the chat.
He's so pretty with his new hair. I love it.
Yeah, I know.
It just looks so beautiful. Yeah, no, solid. 8 didn't. Basically, he was just solid, did what was needed, didn't like make any howling mistakes. I mean, everyone thought he was going to come in and be like a weak link.
Mustafi.
I can't praise him enough for coming in, fitting in, being at the right standard. He didn't look out of place. He fit in straight away, match fit, brilliant. I mean, maybe I'll give him a 9 for that. Being that ready after having so little game time for the rest of the season, he's worked hard to be that ready. So, got big up, Rob Holding. Your hair's beautiful.
Akpos, what do you reckon? The chat's all saying 7. TJ Warren saying 7. I've got Craig AFC saying 7. KB Sports saying 7. I've rated him too high, maybe. But Akpos, what do you think?
I think it was a very solid performance from Rob Holding because a lot of us were also a little bit nervous with him in that starting 11. But I think he had a very good game. I think just one moment where it was a bit scary for him when I think it was caught out of position a little bit, but Kyrgios stepped up to the plate and made that tackle, and so I think it was a very good game, very good and commanding performance from Rob Holding. He did not make no silly tackles, no silly fouls, so I would want to give him a 7.
Fair enough. No, look, I'm with the chat too. I can see where they're coming from. Kyle, Holdinho. What do you reckon?
Big up to Rob Holding. Came on there the other day, played a really good game. He was solid. Fair play to the chap because he's absolutely useless. But he came in, did a good job the other day. He has this mentality that the rest of the team have. You can only big him up, Steve-O. And you can only rate him on his last performance. And his last performance was very good.
Yeah.
I'm not his biggest fan. I don't know why he's still at Arsenal Football Club, but he is. I can't do nothing about that. If I was there, he'd be out the door many years ago. The same with Eddie.
So he's about to say Eddie Nketiah.
The same with Eddie Nketiah, out the door. But I'm not over Arsenal, so these players stay there. So I'm giving Rob Holding a solid 7 out of 10. And fair play to him as well. Big up to Rob Holding and his new hairstyle.
He's there. You don't know why he's here. He's there for games like yesterday.
There you see. He fit. He was part of the mix.
He does have a howler.
Well, let me tell you something, lads. Let me get something straight. He was playing Crystal Palace. Let's see how good he be against Man City or one of the big boys.
No. He's not a starting line player. He's supposed to come off the bench and just do.
Yeah, but if he's going to play instead of Saliba against Man City, let's see what happens then. No.
Saliba's going to be fine, mate. I'll go there, do the operation myself, mate. Don't worry about that. I'll take care of it. Gabriel, our centre back. I think for me, Gabriel's been our best centre back this season.
Oh, so good. He's just got better and better as well.
I swear. Akpos, I'm throwing Gabriel to you. What do you think? Gabriel in this game?
For me, I would want to describe him with one word: leader. Because Gabriel seemed to be the leader of that young back four, the way I'm looking at it. Zinchenko is very experienced, but I think Gabriel looks like the one who's putting all of the pieces together, because there are some times where we need one player to step up defensively to be in those decisive position, and you will see Gabriel there. And also, I want to big him up for his ball distribution game. Also, I think he's becoming even more comfortable with the ball at his feet, and is playing out from the back so much better than he did the previous season. So Gabriel seems to be a defender that's improving. His game has improved a lot, and the thing with defenders and goalkeepers, the more they age, the more they get better. So I'm also excited for what to expect from Gabriel in the next couple of years, because it seems to be like, I look at him, the way he's playing, is one of the leaders of that team right now. So Gabriel, for me, I would want to give him a 9, definitely a 9 for me.
9. Kyle, Gabriel, 9 out of 10. Yay, nay, maybe.
Gabriel is, to me, he's our best centre back this season. Now, I'm just basing on this season. Now, I do know that at the beginning of the season, Saliba was our best, but he went off. He lost form a bit. So, up and down. But it's great, Steve Ward, to be able to sit here and say to you that we have 2 really good, solid centre backs with Saliba and Gabriel. When was the last time, over the last 20 years, we could say that? People talk about David Luiz. Useless. Koscielny. Useless. Michael Saka wouldn't turn in an acre of land. There's, Pascal Segan. Senderos.
Oh,
who the hell are all these lads? Useless. So it's great that we have to sit here and debate and talk about these 2 centre-backs. I think Gabriel is a leader. I think he has improved as the season went on. He's looking strong. And I'm going to give Gabriel a good solid 8 out of 10.
That's fair shot. Fran, what do you reckon? And Taib's saying, Fran, make sure Steve lets you have your say. So what I'll do is I'll mute me.
I talk way too much already. So solid 8 out of 10. In this game, he did what he expected him from what I saw when I wasn't doing the other thing. But I can't big up enough, as you say, how much he's developed. Do you remember it's been a while since we've seen one of those crazy rash moments from him, like the over-aggression, the red card sort of tackles. He's very willing to learn and improve, and it looks like he's channeled that energy and aggression into just being like a solid, like man mountain, like you shall not pass type defender, almost like Van Dijk sort of esque in his way, like you're not getting past me. Like he's that big, he's massive, and that partnership with Saliba is incredible. Like they've got such a tight bond and communicate so well with each other. Gabriel is he's grown and he's so special. What amazing scouting. Had we heard of Gabriel Magalhaes before they brought him in? He's amazing. So 8, yeah.
8. You know what? I'd agree with an 8. I would be pushing for a 9, but I'd agree with an 8 for Gabriel. He didn't put a foot wrong. He commands the back line. I think he's the best of our centre back pairings. I don't think he's the leader of he leads the back line. He's commanding that back line. To be perfectly honest, he scored goals in previous games. Yeah, no, I'd say 8. I can see where Akpos is coming with a 9, though. I can actually see that. Zinchenko to finish up the back line for me in this game. Thank God he didn't play like he did in Europa. Link-up play was good. His cover was decent. Defensively sound. He covered us a fair few. I want to marry him up with Gabriel and just say an 8 out of 10. Kyle, what do you reckon? Zinchenko, 8?
I give him a solid 7.
Oh, he's saying a 7. Guys in the chat, Zinchenko's a 7. Akpos, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll give him a solid 7.
I think I would want to go with I would go with an 8, just like you did.
8, fair enough. Fran, Zinchenko, 7, 8, 9.
I didn't focus on him too much in this game. Okay. There's one, he's covering a lot better. He's not getting so lost in midfield. Like his defensive awareness is getting there rather than just totally getting to, as you know. So, 7.
7, fair enough. 7, fair enough. All right.
But that's because I wasn't really focusing in on him. I was, as I said, doing other stuff at the same time.
You're looking at the middle of the park, which is where we are. And that's where we come into the one, the only, Thomas Partey. One of the best DMs in the Premier League. Top 3, guaranteed. All day, every day. Akpos. Thomas
For
Partey.
me, definitely
me.
gonna be definitely. I would want to give him a 9 because I think it's the one that provides that cover for that our defensive back four. Because with Thomas Partey just sitting in front of that defense, I think it brings a lot of confidence also to the guys playing in that defense, and we as Arsenal supporters every time we see him in that starting 11, because I think it's very integral to the way we play. He knows how to beat that press every time team comes to press at us. If he's holding on to the ball, you're expecting him to be able to carry the ball out of those dangerous situations. And when we need somebody to track back and also help in the defensive duty, you would always see Thomas Partey there. For me, this is the main reason why a lot of us have been screaming for that Thomas Partey cover, because we look at this system that we're playing, having that defensive midfielder that's got the legs, the ability to also switch from defense to attack, I think is very vital. And Thomas Partey, he knows how to do that effortlessly. And Thomas Partey, for me, a 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'd agree with a 9. I would. Fran.
Can I go? I think I'm still overly worried, like, because of how good he is. I mean, I think we're overly reliant on him. Do you remember what it looked like when he didn't start in the Europa? And it just like it turns from like a rock in midfield to it's just like a waterfall, like anyone can get through. So that just says how good he is. He's imperious. He's the conductor. His distribution is just incredible. He picks up these passes. I did see him actually give it away, which was rare. But when you notice, like, oh look, he's giving it away, and that's unusual, then you know how good he is. So yeah, solid 8. Yeah,
solid 8. So we got a 9, we got an 8. I've got a 9, and I've got Kyle to come in and tell me Thomas Partey. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I would say the earlier in the conversation that we have here that Saka has the potential of becoming a club legend. I'm going to throw Thomas Partey in on that as well. Partey is probably the best midfielder that we've had since Gilberto Silva, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit, and the ilk of those players. So for me, Partey is a very, very important player, influential, and we need him now, Steve-O, for these 10 games, man. We need him so much. And I think if we can keep him fit, that's a big part of us winning the league title. If he gets injured, I am going to be shitting a brick. Yeah. But I thought the other day he was absolutely outstanding, and I'm giving Thomas Partey a solid 9 out of 10.
Oh, I'm with that. I couldn't fault him. Every time we would go into an attack, and of course they'd defend and we'd lose the ball, they'd try to transition, of course, try and build up their own attack. He just seems to be in the right place every time to fucking win a header, intercept the ball. It's like he already knows which way they're going to switch, and as soon as they switch, he's there. It's like the guy's a magician, and honestly, he's an absolute beast. He's a fucking big boy too. Granit Xhaka, middle of the park, partner in crime in this game, got a goal. Fran,
can I go?
You gotta go. It's going to you.
I gotta go.
Granit Xhaka.
This is probably overly generous, but there's more that
goes
goes
with you,
into it than just this performance. Okay, I'm going to give him a 9.5 because okay, maybe this performance wasn't outstanding, but he scored. We got the celebration for his daughter. Was just always there and thereabouts. When he's got Partey behind him as that solid structure, he goes forward. He's interlinking. He's improved so much. But the thing for me is that this Crystal Palace fixture, it's got history with Xhaka. That's when the thing happened with Xhaka. And I think him scoring in this game, playing like he did, and the crowd singing his name, it's just the resolution of that redemption arc, which I can't believe it still. And I don't know, Kyle, I haven't heard your thoughts on Xhaka, but it's just the human story behind it and him redeeming himself in this way to the fans when so many would have just thought, screw it, I'm out of this club. I'm not coming back from this, having done that to the fans. We know what happened there, but I just think it's such a testament to his character to have worked so hard and improved and taken those silly red cards out of his game. Just what a guy. 9.5 out of 10, maybe even a 10, just because I can't believe this comeback and the way he's won us back. So yeah.
KB Sports has got a great one there. It's taken us years to finally utilize Xhaka in the correct role, playing the best.
That's Arteta. That's Arteta.
That is Arteta.
Yeah.
Wenger signed this guy. Arteta using him to his best ability. Kyle, what do you reckon? Granit Xhaka, this game, 9.5, or 8?
Yeah,
7.
yeah. Granit Xhaka to me, Fran. To answer your question, to be straight about it, he's been at the club 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
For 6 years, of his 7 years at Arsenal Football Club, he's been nothing but atrocious. A terrible football player. I hated him. And then when he gave the fans the big up and all the rest of us, I thought we'd never see him in an Arsenal jersey again. Now, whatever happened in the summertime, Arteta sat down, they had a conversation, and they have found the perfect role for Xhaka after 7 years of football. And Xhaka has blossomed this season. He's matured, and he's after being a vital opponent in this team to where we are today. And I give nothing but respect to Xhaka for that. So, do I want to see Xhaka leading the midfield this time next season? No, I certainly don't. Have him as a squad player maybe, but we have to get in someone better.
Yeah.
But Xhaka, in fairness to him, I big him up. He's having a great season. The other day, I thought he played well again, and I give him an 8 out of 10.
Akpos, what do you reckon?
For me, I want to big up BX Gunner for this comment, because what we're seeing with this resurgence with Granit Xhaka now, it has to do with Mikel Arteta, because a lot of us agreed that he had one foot out of the door already with what transpired with the fans, him throwing out the armband, and we also saw that he was already trekking for Jose Mourinho to go to Roma. I just think that maybe Roma did not have the financial power to get that deal done also, and the conviction Mikel Arteta must have convinced him that, okay, you are definitely my plan. And I think we are beginning to see all of the potentials Papa Wenger saw with Granit Xhaka, and also that change in position, asking him to do what he could do better and taking him away from those positions where he found himself in trouble a lot of times. So we need to big up Mikel Arteta, and also we need to big up the player for being also very professional with the way things have changed from the way it was before and now. And I think the whole story with Granit Xhaka and the Arsenal fan base and the Arsenal Football Club is a perfect example of never saying never in some situations. I think it was very bad. It was not very bad, but we could see that this one is one that we could picture as a family situation. Sometimes when you have that big fight in the family, it seems like that relationship is dead and gone. It's not going to repair itself. But that's why many of us love this football club. It seems to be like one big family. It seems to be like we're looking out for our own. And I think it's massive how this whole story has turned around to be one that it's in a very good situation now. Big up Granit Xhaka, and big up also Mikel Arteta, and also big up to the fans for putting that incident also behind them and supporting the player now, and also backing the player and backing the team. So, Fran, I think you guys wanted to say something.
We have to be able to forgive, like when this player has worked so hard, like to win us back over and stuff, and just there's hope for us all, isn't there? I just think the story is fantastic. Just on a story level, I just think there's hope for any footballer in any situation if Granit can do this. So.
I think Amazon stuffed up. They picked the wrong season to do the fucking All or Nothing. But anyway, that's they're probably looking going.
And I'm not going to put away. I'm not going to put away like the 6 years of like dire performances. No. Okay, but I just think. I think it's so amazing to be able to like rewrite yourself and rewrite people's perceptions of you. If you've been terrible for 7 years, like that's not going to define me. What defines me is what I'm going to do today, this season. They say let like what's coming and your future plans define you. Not what's happened in the past. I just on a human, like just moral, like whatever level. I think it's fantastic. So carry on.
It's onward. I think it's onward and upward for Granit Xhaka. And to be honest, for me, I'd say an 8.5 out of 10 for this performance in this game. I couldn't fault it. I think he's been, in my opinion, the most reliable midfielder we've had this season. Maybe Partey is outdoing him now because he's staying fit, but at one stage he was probably our best midfielder. I move on to Sorry.
Oh, God. I love how he's channeled his beef. Like he's like that friend like you want with you like on a pub night out when someone's coming at you. Do you know? Like the way he
I want him
backs
beside me.
you.
Yeah, I want him beside me. The beast. Yeah, me and him would get along real well. Trust me, it'd be great.
Man.
I got Martin Odegaard, the number 10, and right now every team is looking at this guy and thinking probably what the most informed number 10 in the Premier League, including and that's including KDB. For me in this game, I would score him honestly with Granit Xhaka at 8.5 because some of the things that he's doing in the middle of the park, his distribution, his control, was fucking majestic. 8.5 out of 10 for me for Martin Odegaard. Fran, do you agree or?
Yeah, it's this thing that Arteta's got of getting these players that have a point to prove, like, and tuning into that and saying like we've got you. Like he's just how it didn't work out for him at Madrid, and he is just silky. Like this is the player that Arteta saw and thought like this is, and everyone's seen since he was a kid, like this is the player that he can be, and he's fulfilling that potential, and just technically just incredible, flawless. His vision, he's silky smooth. That guy is incredible. Yeah, I guess 9. Yeah, just for this season. 9. I mean, I wasn't really focused on like zoomed in on him in this game. I'm bad though. I'm bad with midfielders. For me, like I'm such a attacking merchant. I'm just looking at those guys. I don't even notice how the ball gets to them sometimes.
Akpos, my guy. You know Martin Odegaard. You know what he was doing on that right hand side. 8.5 or 9? What do you reckon? 8.
I want to give him an 8, but like Fran said, I think he's a very key player to what the way we're playing right now. It seems to be orchestrating all of the good things we're doing. I think Martin Odegaard, I'm really excited. I'm loving his development right now, and I'm looking forward because a lot of the beautiful thing about these young guys we have, I don't think many of them have reached the very peak of their potential, what they could definitely do. So I'm excited about what they could do and in the season that is to come also. But these guys are developing very well. These guys are performing very well. I want to point out something. Last season, a lot of us saw that Odegaard was having very good home games, but in the away games, it was not able to replicate those performances. But if you look at his performances this season, he's been doing very well in the away games. But I look at him all around. I think just one thing is missing at the moment. I want to see more of Martin Odegaard deciding those big games, those big moments. When we're going to be playing top teams, Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, we want to see him deciding those games. I think if he gets to that level, we could potentially have the best midfielder in the league.
When the going really gets tough, sometimes he can kind of fade.
Exactly.
Yeah, and not really influence the game very much. So I totally agree with you on that. But it was amazing to see. So before I forget, in the Europa League game, having him come on, did you see him like with the crowd, like come on, like a bit of that like leadership, and it did feel like okay, like we're bringing on the cavalry now. He'll just keep on going from strength to strength, and let's see him really put his mark on those big games against those big teams.
Yeah, look, I think Odegaard's been wonderful this season. He's hit the ground running. You can see the stats that I've put down there, our top performance, and Odegaard sitting at 10 and 6. I love that. 10 and 6. 10 and 6 from him. I mean, look, we all know who's going to be the guy up the front. We all know. Look at that. 12 and 10. Fuck me. Like, seriously, first guy to do it. And he's the youngest. And look how young he is. And you know what? I'm just going to jump over to Saka. I'm going to go to the right. Fuck it.
Do it.
For me, man of the match, 10 out of 10 performance is Bukayo Saka. A pest on the right-hand side. When he wasn't assisting goals, he was scoring goals. When he wasn't assisting or scoring goals, he was breaking up play and stretching the defense. I think an absolute masterclass performance. Couldn't ask anything more of him. The ball that came from Tini to Saka to score, that wasn't nice. And you know what I mean, Akpos. That ball didn't come nice. That ball came in quick. So when those come in and you take that no touch, just strike, that's quality. And I just think to myself, you know what? We all wanted him to add goals to his game. He's now adding difficult goals to score to his game. And in my mind, in this game, 10 out of 10 performance, Bukayo Saka is my man of the match. Akpos, do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know, man. But
I definitely agree with you because for me, the Starboy, the little Chile, I think it's
My God.
brought a lot of consistency to his game this season. We're seeing him do it week out, week in, week out. And it's not just us Arsenal fans that have noticed what he's doing and the passion that he brings to this game. Have Chelsea fans talking to me and they're saying, Bukayo Saka, they look at him and that's a player who wants to be at that football club. A player who's playing with a passion. The player who, when the game is not going to what is going in the way he expects, you could see him wanting to fight. You could see him wanting to get into defensive position. For me, I think his all-round game is developing and how he handles pressure. You see him stepping up to the plate when we need somebody to take a penalty. You see him stepping up to the game when we need a goal to equalize the opposition lead. So Bukayo Saka, for me, I think the player is growing. Is growing, and it's beautiful to see for a lot of us to see how he has developed from a player who came in from the younger age grade, who was one of our own, was brought into the team, and where he is at right now, and we're talking about potentially having an elite player, a world-class player, one of the very best to do it in this football club. So for me, what I'm saying every time I talk about Bukayo Saka is for me to say, he should just continue to keep his head in the game, stay focused on the football business, and we could potentially have a top player in our hands.
I think that's one of the things that's so great about him. I don't worry about his ego getting too big. Like he's so humble, so down to earth, and like he's so close to his family, I've heard, and they keep his feet on the ground. Like in terms of his head and that sort of thing, and wanting to just keep improving, staying humble, like he's got that already, which is so rare in such a. Think about some of these the players of his caliber at other clubs. Look at their egos and like the stuff they get up to off the pitch, like all the controversies, like your Grealish, Foden, all those guys. There's drama that comes with it, and he's just a family guy, but. He's got this sweet, like humble demeanor outside the pitch, but this season we're really seeing like the strength on the pitch, like the resilience when he's getting battered, beaten, bruised. Like it doesn't phase him, and a lot of that is Arteta like telling him like you are gonna get like dodgy tackles on you all the time, but you just got to brush it off. His physical strength, he's getting like a big boy now, like and he's also added. I think he could walk into any club like in Europe really and start. I'm not sure. Well, maybe there are a few clubs where
Bayern would be difficult.
But I think every club would take him like to compete with like he. I know there's often this discussion of like, is he world class? I think he's got to get a couple of trophies under his belt before we can fairly say that without teams coming back at him like, what's he won? But in terms of like his form, just amazing. It's a fairy tale. It's a fairy tale. Like the way he came back from the adversity at the Euros. And sorry, I'm aware that your stream's going on for ages, but I could just talk about Saka for hours. I think he's absolutely incredible. He's also added variation to his game as well. As I was saying at the beginning of the season, it was just run down the wing, try and cut in on the left, and teams
cut to the left. Stop, hit the brakes, cut left, try and take a shot.
Yeah, whereas now he won't go all the way down the wing. Sometimes he'll pass it in earlier and then make a run, maybe a bit more central. I could go on about him for hours. What do you think, Steve?
Well, do you agree? Man of the match, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Because you went with Ben White, but it might.
No. I went with Xhaka just for the redemption arc. For the redemption arc, so I'm going to stick with that.
You're going to stick to him, but okay, cool. So what would you rate Saka? What would you rate Saka then?
9.5. Yeah.
Okay. In the chat, everyone, she thinks 9.5. Oh, Musto, is there any transfer news? Sorry, I'll just get to this quick question. Is there any transfer news? I heard we're linked with Declan Rice. We've been heavily linked with Declan Rice for months. The thing is, looking at transfer news now, every single outlet is going to be linking us to every single player. So I rarely start looking in at transfer news now. The season is nowhere near over. Declan Rice would be a great player to get in, but I wouldn't worry about the speculation of what's going on. I think West Ham right now could be in a relegation battle, and so we never know. We've got in the middle of the park, Leandro Trossard. I don't think I think Leandro had a great game. Assisted a goal. He was all over the pitch. I honestly wanted to give Leandro an 8.5 out of 10. That guy there. And Fran, 8.5 out of 10 for Leandro Trossard.
I
Is
just
that
love
fair?
him. I just love him. Yeah, I'm overhyping the team right now. Actually, no, it wasn't his
That's all your
best
squad, yeah.
performance, but I'll give him 8.5. I was going to go with 9 just because I just can't praise how well he slotted into this team, like raised his game to the level. Like clearly he was being held back a little bit at Brighton by kind of the players
not now.
around him. And yeah, he's fulfilling his potential. I can't imagine and having to move to London but still adjusting so quickly. I can't rate him enough. I had him in my fantasy Premier League team like since last year, basically, because I rated him so highly and he was getting these goals at Brighton. Did you see his Instagram post saying like, "How may I assist you?"
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's a gem. He's a fucking gem of a player.
So great, so humble as well. Like that sort of humility, hardworking, like the personality, the mentality, the personality.
Similar to everyone.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give him a 9. Go on. I love the guy. I love the guy.
Akpos, what are your vibes on Leandro Trossard in this game? 9,
Well, for me,
8.5.
I want to start first by picking up my boys, Kanebi and Kunle, the Nigerian Englishman on One Touch TV. Those guys were the ones who were going in for Leandro Trossard because personally, I even had a debate on who to pick, Trossard or Zaha with Kanebi one day. So Kanebi was the one who was saying he wanted Leandro Trossard, and for me, what a signing he has been for this football club. This guy has come in and he has hit the ground running immediately. And what Fran has said, he has moved into a different city, to a different football club. But he seems to be playing like a player who has been there for a long time. So Trossard for me, top player, top signing, and I'm seeing a little bit of that consistency to his game, to his performances, because when I watched him playing at Brighton, consistency was one big issue for me. Because one game you see a top player, another game you see a player who's not being able to replicate that kind of performance. But I'm seeing him do it on a more frequent level for this Arsenal team, and it brings those assists, it brings those goals. So for me, I think this has been the best signing in the January transfer window. If I want to look at a player who's got so much impact to what we're doing and the way he plays, we've missed Gabriel Jesus, but what it brings to the team is a little bit similar to that quality. That fluidity he has got. It's not a player that you could say, okay, he's staying in one position. You're seeing him changing position with Gabriel Martinelli. So for me, an 8 or an 8.5 would be a very good call for Leandro Trossard.
I think we sit 8.5 on that one. I reckon 8.5. Last but not least, because I'm not going to get into the subs. I don't think they had the biggest impact, to be honest. Except
I do
for
want to
Kieran
pick up.
Tierney.
We need to give an honorable mention to Kieran Tierney.
Yes,
Kieran Tierney and Jesus.
I love what I saw from him.
I want to give Kieran Tierney big props for that assist. I think even the way he came onto the pitch was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Show him more love, Arteta, please.
I don't want him to go. I really don't want him to go. He's not getting minutes, and I hope we can try and fit him into the squad. I think Kieran Tierney is coming on and he's making a statement. I think Gabriel Jesus also. I'm pretty sure Jesus also came in, and of course, he's doing bits. I mean, he's not ready yet. He's not ready. You can see he's not ready.
Can we talk about how in his rehab he's like proper bulked up? He's like a chunky, like muscular guy now. He's huge.
He wants to be able to fucking take a hit. Munzie in the building. We got look at this. Mudryk did not make a good choice to go to Chelsea. You spot on. And you know what? They just fucking drew a game, and he was sitting on the bench. He didn't even get a fucking minute. So you know what? We dodged a bullet there, bro. We dodged it. We got Trossard in, and we dodged an 80 million pound bullet on that one.
Can I say something? Steve? I don't really think Modric is a bad player. I think the problem is not the player. I think the problem is the football club where he went to. I think it's Chelsea. It's Chelsea.
Oh yeah, and, all day.
Yeah, to just digress a little bit, I saw something from Chelsea OG or one of the other Chelsea guys on the shot, and it was saying they wanted Erling Haaland. If Erling Haaland goes to Chelsea, I think it would find it difficult to score goals, because if you look at some of the recent signings in terms of strikers that have gone to Chelsea, Chelsea has been the only football club where they've not scored. Timo Werner, Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah, the striker curse. They ruined.
So I think it's not a strikers. It's not about changing personnel. If any striker goes to Chelsea and they continue to play the way they are playing, you're still definitely going to struggle. Oh,
look, I couldn't agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I I think, look, Mudryk could have been a great player at Arsenal, but unfortunately, it's a
Exactly,
story
yeah.
that could be, should be, and would have been.
They're
KB Sports. Sorry, I'm gonna jump into this. Tini is a
Yeah, sorry.
baller. They need to try to put Zinni into the midfield to accommodate for Tini. Negative. Now this is why. Okay, now, let me tell you why. Let me
Shut
tell you why.
down.
No, I don't want to be a prick, but let me tell you why. When you're playing this style of football that we're playing now, you're gonna have yourself an overlapping left back or right back. Ben White is the kind of guy who's going to come into the middle of the park. So what does he do? He works on an overload with Odegaard and Saka and overlaps Saka and gives you an option, right? What Zinni is doing, right? This is what Zinni does. Because he's an inverted left back, and Akpos knows where I'm going with this. He's coming into the middle of the park. He travels into the middle of the park. He pulls the winger with him, and he takes the midfielder as well. The midfielder's drawn, the winger is drawn. So now the left-hand side is open. So what he does is he distributes the ball to a defender, so it goes out to Xhaka. Then the overload begins on the left-hand side. You'll notice Zinni starts running like a friggin' train to get on that left-hand side. Martinelli will run down, and what's the next pass going to be to? Either Xhaka or Zinni. And now Zinni is in the overload. So Zinni provides an overload option on the left-hand side, right? Whereas Odegaard, Saka, and White overload the right. If you put Kieran Tierney there, Kieran Tierney is going to bomb up and down the left-hand side. I love that from a left back. But he doesn't give you the option that Zinni does. The way we're playing now, Zinni is more suited. But I feel you. I reckon Kieran Tierney is a great player. But I would never take Zinni and put him into the midfield. I would leave him at left back. And I would honestly, unfortunately, try and accommodate both players to the best of my ability. That's just what I see. That's the way you play with an inverted winger. An inverted left back. I don't know. Akpos, do you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
And also to add to what you just said, because I totally agree with what you're saying. If you want to compete in more than one competition, you're definitely going to need two quality left backs, and that's where Kieran Tierney comes in. Because if Tierney was really fit, I think would have seen more from him in the Europa League. I think in that in some of the games where he has missed, I think it has to do with his fitness also. So if we really want to compete in more than one competition next season, you need two top quality left backs. So I would want to keep Tierney in my opinion.
Dude, I don't want Tierney to go anywhere. I want to chain him to the inside the Emirates. I don't want him to leave. He's not allowed to look outside. I swear. Goal answer. Look at this. Cheers for that. KB Sports is like, fair comment, can't deny. Look, big up. Look, I'm not trying to hammer you. I'm just trying to show. I know the tactical side of football. I just don't get too far into it anymore. But when it comes to the tactics side,
I wish you did. It's so interesting. I love tactics.
That's a taste of it.
Do a weekly tactics show or something. I love it. Like, you explain it so well. I learn a lot.
You should.
Well, people look at Zinchenko. If people look at Zinchenko, they'll see if they see what I'm seeing. I don't like it, but it's effective. I see him in an overload left-hand side left back. Guys, last but not least, Gabriel Martinelli. The guy who had his head down, who fucked up a penalty, comes in and finishes the way he finishes. In my mind, for the comeback, for the energy, for the battle, I want to give Gabriel Martinelli an 8.5.
9.5 for me.
9.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know I'm so biased though. I bring the emotional, personal side into it. And actually, that's fair. That's fair. I bring the mental strength that they've shown into it, as opposed to just how they've performed on the pitch. So yeah, I'm biased, but yeah, 9.5 for coming back from that moment.
Akpos, you reckon?
I would definitely want to give him a 9 because I think that was the perfect comeback. That was the perfect way to respond to all of the questions. If he's going to have his head in the game, if he's going to respond to missing that vital penalties. For me, I look at this team. I look at the togetherness. I look at that the way they put their hands on the next player's shoulder. I think it's more this family feeling. I think we are building a very strong team that's together, that's unified. That the one who lift because for me, iron definitely is going to sharpen iron. So when one iron is blunt, we need other players in the team, the managers trying to make them a lot more sharper. And I want to big up the team, big up Martinelli also for the way he has responded to this. Because if he had let his head drop, we could have seen a bad showing from him, and that could have affected his rest of the season potentially. But we have a player who has responded instantly, and when we return from the international break, all of those questions, all of those doubts would have been put behind him, and is going to be facing the business side of him. So I think I love that response from Gabriel Martinelli, and I'm also excited with this player has also developed in our eyes, because this is not a Marquis signing. This is a player that was signed and was expected to go out on loan. But its performance during that preseason convinced the manager that no, you have to keep this guy in the team. So big up Gabriel Martinelli also for being very focused to this business and getting the job done on the pitch.
Oh mate, look, he's in a look, a BX Gunner. What a bounce back! Shows major mentality monster. What a head this kid has on his shoulders. Facts. Look, I reckon this team, to be perfectly honest, we hit the ground running. We did well. We're onward. We're upward. We're 8 points clear. 10 games to go for us. 11 for them. And let's hope that this team can continue in this fashion. Guys, I want to thank my panel because I couldn't have done it without them. Kyle Walsh Gunner, he was in and out, unfortunately. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Kyle Walsh Gunner's channel, please do so. If you could check it out, it's great. Kyle, we all know him. He's either happy as Larry. No, I'm joking. He could be upset. He could be happy. It could be anything. Emotional wreck sometimes, but he's Kyle, and you got to love him. Straight facts from Kyle. And Fran, please drop the channel a bit. Drop the channel a bit. Drop it here. Drop it there. Drop it everywhere.
Yeah, goal art. So the word goal, art, and ZO. My football opinions may be sketchy, but my drawings are where I truly focus my energy. So go and have a look at my artwork, and that's the same name as my website. Okay, what was I going to say? Yeah, this has been a long stream. My hair has gone from being soaking after my bath to now dry. So that shows how long it's been. Look, it's dead dry.
it's vibes. I don't know. We just kept on going. I'm sorry.
No, fantastic. I've had the best time. Thank you very much.
Honestly, absolutely loved it. Akpos, where are they going to find you? Apart from the Aussie Gooner channel, where are they going to find you? And
definitely you can find me on the Aussie Gooner channel, and also on One Touch TV with my guy Ninja, and also you can find me on the Football Talk Show.
Big up. I got a question here, guys. Who do you like, Mudryk or Trossard? Okay,
Trossard.
I say Trossard because Trossard he's filling up gaps as a number 9 and as a winger. And 27 million pounds. That's including add-ons. That's total. That's a bargain. I think Mudryk could be a great player, but I'm not certain. And I wasn't happy even when he was coming to Arsenal for us to spend 90 million on Mudryk, because I've got a left winger in Martinelli. As we can see, we're praising him. What am I going to do with a 90 million pound sub? That's what was my problem. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying I don't think he's the right player for Arsenal.
He's got a stinky attitude too. I don't know if you've seen like his social media stuff. Apparently he like came out at Arsenal this week as well, like criticized us and stuff. He's a bit of a diva, I think, all about him, and yeah, we don't need that kind of.
That's probably why he's on the bench, sitting on the bench.
Yeah, he's got the hump though, to be fair to him. I don't know if it would have been like that if he came. But yeah, I would make the right decision.
I'm honestly unfazed. I'm not upset that we missed out on him. I really am not. I'm not. Mudryk will be a decent player long term, but Trossard is the best for right now, and that's what we need right now, and that is a fact. Look, thank you guys for jumping on this stream. Yes, it was a long stream, but this was a wonderful fucking game. We absolutely love what we've seen from end to end. Guys, comment down below. Give me your ratings. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to the Aussie Gooner channel and my co-host channels. Their links will be in the description below. Honestly, I couldn't have done this show without them. They're absolute legends. And I mean, the conversation just keeps on going when it comes to me and this crew. So guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to their channels and look for the Aussie Gooner, from my guests, from Arsenal Football Club, guys. It's Uru, guys. It's Uru.